I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my own ship. It's time to overcome our fears. So let's get into it. The opening line to that intro is a quote by Louisa May Alcott. And it's becoming very pertinent to my life at the moment. So let's talk about fear for a moment. I know some people don't like to talk about fear. They think the only way you can be really brave and courageous is to have no fear at all. Not true. Not true at all. The whole no fear thing is kind of interesting to me. I remember back when I was going to university, there was a pretty popular skate brand called No Fear. I'm not sure if they're still around, but I know they were big back then. As a matter of fact, one semester there was even a No Fear club that got started. I didn't join, obviously, but a lot of people did. A lot of dudes did. And I've always thought like, yeah, you got to be, have no fear and just go, into battle or whatever you're gonna do. Just go out there and just do it, and don't worry about what could possibly go wrong. Just go ahead and no fear, man. But it wasn't until much later on in life when I realized that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling that fear, but acting anyway. I remember watching this interview with Mike Tyson after he retired, and in that interview, he confessed that he was afraid before every one of his fights. And when I heard that, it kind of floored me because here is, arguably the greatest heavyweight boxer ever, saying that he was afraid to fight. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, if this guy is afraid, because at the time he was like the scariest guy on the planet. But to hear that he was afraid to do the one thing that he was great at, kind of got me thinking, well, maybe I could be afraid and live my life, even though I'm not a world famous boxer. And, I still have fears. Obviously, I'm a human being. Some are rational and some are irrational. After I broke my arm, right? I had this severe fear of falling again. Like I didn't want to go out of the house. I didn't want to even walk to the kitchen. Right? I was so afraid that I was going to fall again. Like even now, because I slipped on some mud and some water. So even now, when I'm walking outside and I see like the sidewalk's a little wet, I kind of tense up and I'm like, okay, I got to step on that water, make sure my foot is planted firmly on the ground, and keep going because I still have that lingering fear, in my head about falling again. But that doesn't stop me from going outside and taking a walk or going, to the store or anything like that. But again, it's still there in the back of my mind. I'm still a little fearful, but I act anyway. And, we are living in an incredibly fearful society, right? The news tells us to be afraid of, viruses and war and terrorism. Our politicians are telling us to be afraid of our neighbors, right? Is that guy down the street who's got the Trump flag hanging outside of his house, is he like a fascist who's going to try to overthrow the government? Or is that guy who's got the Biden sign in his front yard, is he like secretly trying to turn your children gay right? All this crazy shit that they're pumping us with every single day to get us to be afraid of each other. You know, they have us all on edge to the point where, you know, we're just afraid that our worst fears are going to come true, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. You know, like, when is somebody going to come and save us? Well, I got some bad news for you. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is coming to save us. You know, we got to do this. We got to do this on our own. We got to overcome this fear that we have, not just for overall life, but fear of doing the things we want to do, having the life that we want, the relationship that we want. Maybe, you know, if I tell my wife or my husband how I really feel, they're going to reject me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to leave me. You know, none of us want to be rejected by our significant others or by our friends or by our family. So we just go with the flow. And I think the main culprit today is that we are told to fear our neighbors. You know, fear the people who we interact with on a daily basis. And that is what we have to overcome. That fear of each other. Because, listen, we have more in common with each other than we do with any politician or any billionaire or any newsreader on cable news. You know, if we took the time to really get to know somebody who thinks differently than you, who looks different than you, who may have voted different than you in the last couple of elections, I think we'll find that we all have the same hopes and dreams, right? We all want a better future for our children. We all want to have some kind of meaning in our lives. So I think, you know, take some time and go talk to somebody, maybe somebody you disagree with, or someone you see every day but haven't really bothered to stop and get to know, right? A kind word to somebody could mean a lot, you know, kind of give them a sense that maybe they're not alone in this crazy world of ours. And I think the only way we're going to get what we want personally in life is to, you know, to see the fear but act anyway. The only way we're going to get a better society is to stop being afraid of each other and reach out and connect and realize we have more in common than we have not in common. So that's all I got. It's Friday night. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to end this episode here. So come back. I'll have a new episode on Monday. I'm going to take the weekend off. I'll see you guys soon. And just remember, be kind to each other, because we're all we've got.